Welcome back everyone to the Hello World guys. This is episode number 12 of the bonus series, and in this video we are going to finish our animation stuff that we have got on. And in here you can see that I have got my idle, and so I'm in my state machine and I have done a bunch of setup. So I have added a new state here called attack, which plays the enemy punch animation. Alright, and if I go back, then you can see we have got a couple of transitions that are going to idle and coming back from it, and the same is for running. Now if I open up these transitions, then this is basically using a variable that I created called in range, and when we are going back, we are just basically checking if we are not in range, and if that is the case, then we are basically going back, and if for the going actually into the attack state, we are using this on range, and the same is here. So yeah, basically I set that up before, to not have waste time here, and in here you can see we have got this attack animation, which is pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up my enemy blueprint, the actual enemy blueprint. So in here you can see basically that we have, when we are actually doing damage, then we are basically doing damage using this. So we are basically having like we are checking. All right, let me see. We are moving towards the player, and okay, that's a bit weird. We should be checking here that we are actually have got, like, a distance towards, so we are getting a player pawn, and we are basically yeah, that's a bit weird actually. What were we doing? Okay, we are only doing it on success. Yeah, that's cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable here called in range in the enemy as well. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this variable on success. I'm going to set this variable to be true. Let me just take everything else and move it forward a bit. Okay, and in when we we are succeeding, I'm going to set it to true, and when on fail, I'm going to set it to false. Now that is pretty awesome. Now what that should basically now what we need to do is we can go under the event graph of our animation blueprint. Then we can basically take this and we can go ahead and say cast to enemy. Okay, and we are going to take this, and what we are going to do is we are going to get our in range, and we are going to set in range to be okay, no, not actually. We are going to set this in range. We are going to set our in range is equal to the in range we get here. So I'm going to go ahead and say in range, get in range, and I'm going to get that in range, and then I'm going to basically set this to this. Now that should basically allow us to have a correctly working in range system. Now that should basically mean that we have got our animations working. Now let me hit play, and you can see that's the enemy, and if I go in front of him, he goes into the running animation, then he comes here and he goes into the attack animation. Now the attack animation is playing at a very slow rate compared to the amount of the rate at which we are getting our attack. In order to fix that, we are going to go under my mesh, and I'm going to go under this enemy punching animation. You can see that this animation lasts for a total of let me actually pause this. It lasts for a total of 1.65 seconds. Now obviously what we actually want to do is we want is to last for a smaller amount of time. So if I go in here and I set this to be, let's say, 0.7, then I want this to last for 0.7 seconds. Now how am I going to do that? Well, for this basically what we want to do is we want to let me see, we basically want to make this animation play faster. Now you can see that it's playing much faster at a speed of 2, and let's see how well that goes, if it actually changes it in the game. Yeah, there is our enemy, and I am going towards him, and he's coming at me. Yeah, that is working. Now our enemy is a bit less. I'm going to set this to 0.5, and now we should have basically a working animation system. So yeah, this was pretty much it for this really short video, and now we have got our animation done, and in the next video we'll go on to do a couple of more things that I want to do before we end this series. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I will see you in the next video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and by the way, before I end this video, let me show you one more thing, that our if we actually go in front of him, he comes us, attacks us, and if I go back, then he goes back into the correct animation. Yeah, you can see that we have got this working. So I will see you in the next video, in which we will add a couple of more things. So yeah, stay tuned for that, and I will see you in the next one, and bye.